Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm your teacher Simi Namer, and I'm here again with a new lecture. I hope you and your family are in good health and must be keeping social distancing. So please stay at home and watch this video. This is my lecture number 8 for grade trio, and we will continue with geography. And your book is The Environment of Pakistan, and your subject code is 2059. So we have to continue unit number 1, which is the natural topography, including the drainage pattern of Pakistan. In the previous lecture, we learnt about the Balochistan's economic potential, and I told you that Balochistan being the largest province according to area and with vast untapped resources but remained very neglected, and the population density is very low there. In southwest of Balochistan, the population density is 10 people per square kilometer. And then we talked about the water resources of Balochistan, and no major source of water. The province faces a scarcity of both drinking and irrigation water. Then I said that the supply of water depends on Kare system. Kare system is the irrigation system, and another thing is the flood diversion channels and the tube wells that are rarely used there. Then the transport, we talked about the transport and communication of Balochistan, and I told you that absence of link roads with the main roads. There were railway lines covers a limited areas, and there were no outlet to the sea. No regular postal services between Karachi and Makran coast, and the development of Gwadar is likely to solve this problem. Then we learned about the economic structure, and I told you that mainly the crop farming and livestock raising are the main interests of the people of Balochistan, and about 67% of the people are engaged in agriculture directly. And the annual per capita income was rupees 445, 455 for Balochistan. Then I've told you the economic wealth of Balochistan, which is the mineral resources, and we talked about that the in natural gas sweeps the edge of lower Indus Plain, which is the we can say 46% of the gas supply in the country is obtained from Sui, which is on the border of the Balochistan. And then we talked about the agriculture sector in which we have fruit production, we have vegetable seed industry, and we have livestock industry. Then we talk about the fishing. We have three main ports in Balochistan like Gwadar, Pasni, and Ormara, and they are considered the largest fishing ports, and most of the fish caught from these areas are exported to Sri Lanka. We also learnt about the Potwar Plateau and the Salt Range, and then we learned about the lifestyle and economic activities of the Potwar Plateau and the Salt Range. And then I told you about the Indus Plain, which is located in Punjab and central part of Sindh. And the north part is known as the Upper Indus Plain, which is from Attock to Mithankot, and the lower part is called as the Lower Indus Plain, which is from Mithankot to Thatta, and the Delatic Plain, which is from Thatta to coastal stripe of the Arabian Sea. Then we learned about the features of the Indus Delta or Indus Plain. These were the active floodplain, and I told you that there are some active floodplain, the old floodplain. I I also told you about the features of the Doab, and I explained the cross section of Doab, in which I've shown the active floodplain, the old floodplain, the leeways, the scarp, the meanders, and the cover area. Then the alluvial terraces, we covered the Piedmont plains and the tidal deltas in the previous lecture. Let me tell you again to locate the exact location of the upper Indus Plain and the lower Indus Plain. That is like the Indus River, the whole journey of the Indus River, which starts in the north of Pakistan and reaches to the south in the Arabian Sea. So the whole Indus area, like the area where it starts in the plains, we have divided the plain area into two areas. The upper Indus Plain, it starts from Jhelum and ends at Mithankot. Mithankot is the area where all the rivers join each other, like all the five rivers join the Indus River. That is the area of Mithankot. Till Mithankot, it is known as the upper Indus Plain. And the lower Indus Plain, while from Mithankot to the sea, is called the lower Indus Plain. Rolling sand dunes. Plains that are made in deserts by rolling of sands due to wind erosion. Like some of the dunes are made there, a dune is a mound of sand formed by the wind, usually along the beach or in a desert. Cuesta. A cuesta is a Spanish word which means a slope, and this is a hill or a ridge. Ridge is also a type of mountain. So this is a hill or a ridge with a gentle slope on one side and a steep slope on the other. There are some alternating layers of hard and soft rock that can slope gently upwards, eroding at the upper edge to form one or more cuestas in the ground. At the higher edge of the formation, soft rocks erode more easily than the hard rocks layer above, forming a cliff or a steep bank. The prominent features occurring on the lower Indus Plain are the cuestas. These are ridges which in Sindh are made of limestone. They add to the scenic beauty of the generally flat area and provide raw material for cement industries. They provide a firm foundation for the construction of barrages. The Rohri Cuesta located near Sakhar, which is 80 meters high and 48 kilometers long, and the Ganjotekar Cuesta is located near Hyderabad, which is 28 kilometers long. The economic activities in this plain, the upper and the lower Indus plain. That is on page number 24. The Indus Plain is the most productive region of Pakistan. The relief and drainage of the Indus Plain encourages the growth of settlements. The Doabs of the upper Indus Plain and the old and active floodplains of the lower Indus Plain are excellent areas for farming. I've told you that Doabs are the place between the or the area between the two rivers. That is called the Doab. There are four main Doabs in um, these Indus plains. Since historical times, more than 80% of the total cultivated area of Pakistan has been located in the Indus Plain. Crops are grown the whole year round on the fertile flat land and the undulating slopes. Undulating means the a land that has some ups and downs, that is has some falls and rise and falls. So it has some slopes. Cotton, rice, and sugarcane are grown in summer and wheat in winter. For example, an extensive system of canal irrigation has been developed because of the favorable relief for the construction of canals. I told you that irrigation means artificial supply of water, and canal irrigation means when we are diverting the river channels, when we are making canals from the rivers to give the water of rivers to different areas of the areas for agriculture. So that is canal irrigation. So in canal irrigation is favorable because of the relief of the for the construction of canals. Relief means the physical feature of in this plain because the area is flat. So this is suitable for canal irrigation. We can make canals from the rivers. The Indus Plain is the most developed region of Pakistan. Infrastructure facilities are easier to provide. Infrastructure means the public services, the public facilities that are given from the government, like the roads. They are making roads for us. They are providing electricity. They are giving us the telephone lines, communication, everything that comes under the infrastructure. So the infrastructure facilities are easier to provide because the land is plain, so the terrain is favorable. The transport network of roads, rail, and air is dense. Dense means there are more road and rail or air transport routes. Electricity is supplied to all the urban centers like Lahore, Faisalabad, Gujranwala, Sakkar, and Hyderabad. Many of the rural areas have been supplied with electricity. Rural areas are the villages. The Indus Plain has a number of industries which consume local raw material like cotton textile, sugar mills, chemical industries, etc. The industrial goods have a large domestic and foreign market. Domestic, the local market, like local people can use these products, and the foreign market, like we can export these things. The population density varies from 50 to over 400 persons per square kilometer. So in lower Indus Plain, the road network is thick near river Indus on both sides of the river. Away from river Indus, there is thin population and density of road network is also thin. This is ideal for agriculture with high irrigation facilities. So now on page number 25, you can see in a table above, like where there's a comparison between the upper Indus Plain and the lower Indus Plain. So here is the comparison, like the upper Indus Plain is located in the northern part of the Indus Plain. So this is the comparison that is located in the northern part. The lower Indus Plain is located in the southern part of the Indus Plain. Then River Indus and its major tributaries flow here. In the upper Indus Plain, River Indus and its major tributaries flow here. Tributaries are the rivers, are the small rivers or the major rivers which contributes its water into the river Indus. So these are the tributaries of river Indus, both the eastern tributaries and the western tributaries. So the river Indus and its major tributaries flow here in the, it means flow in the upper Indus plain. And in lower Indus plain, the river Indus flows alone. There is no tributary in the lower Indus plain. Then in the upper Indus plain, the Jhelum, Ravi and Satluj have joined the Chenab at Panjnath to join Indus river near Mithankot. But in the lower Indus plain, river Indus flows into the Arabian Sea south of Thatta through its distributaries, which flow across the delta. So delta, you know that when the before it falls into the Arabian Sea, the river is divided in few narrow channels. These area is known as delta. Then the average width of the upper Indus plain, we can say the average width of the Indus is 1.4 kilometer till Kalabagh and 1.6 kilometer at Sakhar. But in the lower Indus plain, the width of river Indus is 1.6 kilometer. Then in the upper Indus plain, the river Indus is in its middle course in the north and enters it in its lower course. But in the lower Indus plain, river Indus is in lower course. Then upper Indus plain, both erosion and deposition takes place, with deposition becoming increasingly dominant southwards. Just because the river is flowing from north to south, so the deposition is increasing in the southwards. So they are bringing some of the alluvium, silts, and sand. Many things they erode from the mountains and they bring and deposit in the southern area. So we can see in the plains of the in this river. In the lower Indus plain, the deposition is the main function of the river Indus because there is more deposition, there is no erosion because the erosion takes place in the upper Indus place. But in lower Indus place, there is only deposition. Then in upper Indus Plain, we can see the Minder, Oxbow lakes, braided channels, levees, and in the lower Indus Plain, Minder's Oxbow lakes, braided channels, and levees are also present. So these things are present in both upper Indus Plain and in lower Indus Plain. Minder, Oxbow lakes, braided channels, and levees. I will explain all these terms again in the next lecture, inshallah. Then the alluvial terraces or bars are formed between the rivers, that is in upper Indus Plain and lower Indus Plain. Alluvial terrace or bar do not exist as the Indus flows alone because it flows alone. So there's no type of alluvial terraces, but as upper Indus Plain they have some tributaries, so there are alluvial terraces or bars are formed there. Then are Piedmont plains with alluvial fans to the north and west, but in lower Indus Plain, Piedmont plains with alluvial fans to the west. Then in upper Indus Plain is ideal for irrigation with a network of link canal irrigation, and the lower Indus Plain is ideal for agriculture with irrigation. Then the desert areas, and it is on page number 24. Deserts in Pakistan constitute a significant part of the country's geography, especially in the central and southeastern regions. The major deserts of Pakistan include Thar, Cholistan, Thal, Nara, which is also called as Nara, and the Haran Desert. Despite harsh living conditions, these desert areas are also inhabited by a significant number of people and livestock. Generally, prevalence of poverty is high and resources are scarce among inhabitants of the desert. Poverty means the poor people who are living below the poverty line, so they are really poor, and the resources are scarce means resources are insufficient, and inhabitants mean the local people who are living there, the native people of these areas. Development and communication infrastructure in these areas is also very poor. Infrastructure facilities or communication means communication, road network, electricity, and many more. That is really poor in these areas. Despite of these devastating problems of the desert dwellers, they still follow their customs and traditions and live a semi-nomadic life. The desert dwellers mean dwellers are their residents. The residents of desert, they are still follow their customs, their traditions, and they live a semi-nomadic life. I told you that nomadic people are the people who keep on moving from one area to another. They are moving seasonally and they are moving in search of food and water. So they are like a semi-nomadic people. Thar Desert, which is also called as Thar Parker. Thar Desert is the largest among all the and mostly falls under the territory of Sindh province, extending eastwards from irrigated plains on the left bank of River Indus towards the Indian states of Rajasthan and Gujarat, constituting the largest desert in South Asia, also known as the Great Indian Desert. The approximate area of Greater Thar Desert in total is around 200,000 square kilometer, of which around 50,000 square kilometer falls in Pakistani territories, covering the districts of Thar Parker, Mirpur Khas, Umarkot, Khairpur, Sakhar, and Gotki in Sindh province. Third desert is among the most populated deserts of the world. The next is Cholistan Desert. The Cholistan Desert, locally known as Roi, constitutes the southeastern region of Punjab province with an estimated area of 26,000 square kilometer. Towards the eastern flanks, Cholistan extends into the Indian states of Rajasthan and Punjab and joins the Greater Thar Desert, while on the northwestern front it is bordered by the irrigated plains of Indus and Satluj River. Beside the unique landscape and unique nomadic culture, the major attraction of Cholistan includes Lal Sohara National Park, the Dravar Fort, and annual Desert Car Rally, the biggest motorsport event in Pakistan. Thal Desert. Thal Desert is the third largest desert in Pakistan, situated in central Punjab. It covers an estimated area of 20,000 square kilometers. It is bordered by Indus and Jhelum rivers on its western and eastern flanks, respectively, and in the north it meets the foothills of salt range of Potahar Plateau. Thal Desert is well established and people are living more settled lifestyle, widely practicing irrigated and rain-fed agriculture. Nara Desert. The Nara Desert is located near Cholistan Desert and the Thar Desert. The southern border area of Khairpur district in Sindh is known as Nara Desert. These are also part of Rajasthan Desert in India. These are the desert parts of country. Kharan Desert. The Kharan Desert is situated in the western region of Balochistan province of Pakistan. Overall, all of Balochistan plateau is characterized by extreme arid conditions and very barren terrain. Arid means dry condition, and barren terrain means terrain is land, and barren means unproductive. That is not productive, the land that is not productive. However, Kharan Desert can be separated from the rest of the arid landscape due to its sandy nature and more even terrain. Even means a bit flat, ranging from 1,000 meters in the northeast to 500 meters in the west. It mostly falls in the Haran district, covering an estimated area of more than 20,000 square kilometer. It is the most inhospitable deserts in Pakistan with extreme dry climatic conditions, supporting very little vegetation cover of mainly desert bushes. Due to its vastness and isolation, Haran Desert was selected for Pakistan's second nuclear test executed on May 30th, 1998. So your chapter number 1 is over here, and here I'm going to give you an assignment. You have to do question number 3, 4 and 6 of unit 1 from page number 27. Question number 3 is, with reference to relief and drainage, explain how the Potwar Plateau is different from the Balochistan Plateau. So you have to make comparisons. Here they are asking about the comparison, how Potwar Plateau is different from Balochistan Plateau. So you have to give the difference between the two plateaus. You have to make comparison in this question. Then question number 4 is, if Balochistan is developed, it can feed the whole of Pakistan. Now this is a statement. Like, it's just a suggestion that if the Balochistan is developed, it can feed the whole of Pakistan. Now you have to give 5 reasons in favor or against this statement. This is up to you. If you want to write in favor of this statement, or if you want to write against of this statement, this is your choice, but you have to give at least 5 reasons. Then question number 6 is, the Indus Plain is the most developed physical region of Pakistan. Explain how the relief and drainage of the Indus Plain have made it possible to carry out a variety of economic activities in this region. This is very easy. So, and we are done with the economic activities of Indus Plain, and even you have this, the whole topic is in your book, but you have to pick the points that favors the economic activities, like with the relief and the drainage of the Indus Plain. Obviously, the relief is that it's a plain area, so a plain area is favorable for many of infrastructure and facilities. And the drainage, obviously, you know that the major river, the Indus River, flows here. So there are many more rivers in the upper Indus Plain. So that favors the economic activities like the industrial activities and the agriculture activities both. So create your answer of question number 3, 4, and 6 and write it down in your notebook, and must mark draw a margin line, and must write today's date and day, and please maintain your index. Thank you so much, dear students, for watching this video. I hope everything will be clear in this chapter. But if still you have few questions or problems or any confusion, drop your questions in the comment box. I will definitely answer you. And don't worry about the geographical terms of this chapter. We will do inshallah in the next lecture. Till then, bye.